Hello everybody and welcome back. I am KRX and we're continuing on this tutorial for complete beginners for Europa Universalis 4. We're playing Castile. It is June 28th, 1458. And we have beat up Granada. We have done the Reconquista. We are working on converting this land to Catholic. We have some rebels down here in Tangiers, some Moroccan separatists that we are getting these troops sort of situated for, getting their morale up so they're ready to go battle here. Luckily, there is a fortification here, so that is preventing the separatists from actually seizing the province. They have to siege down the fort, so that's going to give our troops plenty of time to gain their stamina and then come down here and engage the separatists, which luckily they'll also be the defenders, right? Our troops are going to be the defenders because of the fort advantage. We have a truce right now with Morocco, and that's going to be ending in 4 years. And we can just click on Morocco and go here and just do a quick little thing of the truce. It says up here that we also have a truce as well with Morocco and Sus. Sus, of course, I think last we checked, Sus was a subject of Morocco, so they're a subject of Morocco. It looks like for the most part, Morocco and the Portuguese are battling it out here, so that war is still ongoing. So by the time our truce is up in 4 years, actually Morocco is going to be pretty destabilized. They have no alliances right now. We can see there's no alliance here. So we haven't talked. I think I've taken that for granted. I apologize, guys. Seriously, this game is such a beast of a game. It's very. Some of our. I think our Ottoman tutorial honestly is just going to end up being a better series for learning the game than this one. I think we've taken some things for granted. I think there's some good things that we've talked about. It's a very different ecosystem, very different region, very different missions, very different sort of issues going on for Castile and Ottoman, so it's a totally different perspective on the game and the different challenges and sort of strengths and weaknesses of our country and the things that are our major concerns and stuff. We've already had a civil war. We've already had all kinds of stuff in only 14 years of the game, right? We haven't played that much of the game, and there's been so much variety of decision making and things that we've had to learn about and talk about and stuff, and I don't think I've actually gone through all that stuff accurately or in the best way that I can or in the best way that I have in the past. So I apologize if people are actually like hanging out with us right now. Thank you for being here, but I do recognize that I'm not necessarily, this is not the end all be all for learning the game, unfortunately, which we're still trying to achieve that, but I don't know, we're still a ways off. We're still trying to learn how to be better at teaching this game. But essentially what I like to do is when I click on a country here, I look here for a glimpse. I don't know if I've explicitly even said that this series, which is just how terrible I've been. I apologize, guys. We've taken a lot for granted this time, but I think some things we've broken down and we've taught some aspects of the game in a good way, but there's so many different mechanisms and systems and stuff that it takes some repetition to remember to cover everything, to talk about everything and stuff like that. But right here gives us a glimpse of their political or diplomatic situation. Right? They're at war with Portugal. They have a truce with Castile, which is us. And then they have a vassal, but they have no ally. If they had any allies, it would show up here. Like, Tlemcen here has allies with this nation and this nation. Now, the nice thing is, we actually have a means of attacking Tlemcen. We actually, and there's a fancy map mode for this called the truce map mode. And it shows that we actually have a reason to go to war with England, a humiliation war, and France, humiliation war as well, because we're rivals with France and England. But down here with Tlemcen, we actually have a means of attacking these guys as well, because we have the Conquest CB, right? We have a Conquest CB on Tlemcen, and we could attack these guys, and we overwhelm these guys. We could even bring Aragon into this fight. That would be kind of cool. We could actually call Aragon to help us with this. That would be kind of neat. Now we have a situation where Aragon has a regency, a queen regent right now, a female regency for the next 7 years. We have a ruler right now that is a male, and we have an heir that is 6 years old. Now I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, if we need our heir to assume the throne for this. I think for the most part, I believe that the Iberian wedding is possible. It might be dependent on prestige. I'm not sure. We have more prestige than Aragon. That's a good thing there. It does say we can make some states. We could actually make this into a state. We talked about that. Do we want to make North Africa a state, or do we actually want to make it a trade company? So that's something we'll have to think about in terms of converting this land. I think we're already converting the land up here in northern Andalusia. So that's going to take a few bits there. We could look for an Inquisitor, see if this go a little bit faster, a special kind of advisor that increases missionary strength. We do not have an Inquisitor right now, so that's okay. We're still enforcing religious unity with the state edict. This will last until we disable it. This will last until we disable it. So it looks like we can only establish one holy order per area. It seems to me that's kind of cool. We might as well just add these now rather than later, to be honest, if they're useful at all. Construction cost reduction, I mean, that's kind of cool. Conversion cost, we are going to have to convert all this due to a mission. We're going to have to convert all this Andalusian land into Castilian. So reducing the cost of doing that and increasing the base production in these provinces, that seems pretty good. Seems like a really nice way to get a lot of additional. That's 5 more base production across our entire country because each of these provinces just got +1. And it's going to make it a lot cheaper to culture convert it, which we will have to do, which is going to cost us a diplomatic. Now, that's because of a mission, right? There's going to be a mission that wants us to change the culture of the southern, sort of what will be the southern Spanish area into the Castilian culture. I don't think we're going to make Tangiers into a state. I think that's totally fine. I'll just hang out there for a little bit. But I think for the most part, we're ready to go here. We just have to make really, there's a big decision to be made in terms of, do we attack Tlemcen now? We have plenty of manpower. We have plenty of troops. We are drilling them right now, and that is good because that's getting our army professionalism up. So when we spent the 10% army professionalism in order to gain manpower, in order to complete our mission in time, to get a certain amount of manpower built back up by slackening the army, right? When we hit this button down here to slacken the army, it burned down this army professionalism bar. This army professionalism gives us more siege ability, gives us more land fire damage. It just makes our troops just hit harder, just fiercer troops that do more damage in combat and effectively fight harder. And we build this up by drilling our army. When our armies are drilling, that is actually building this value up that we can then spend to get emergency manpower. And then we can also just make it, hold on to it to make our troop permanently stronger and stronger and stronger. And building our army professionalism is something that's a benefit that we could utilize for all of our troops and army-wide for all of the troops fighting in our army, and also apply hundreds of years into the game. So that's a really good thing. It takes a long time to build this up, though. It takes a long time to build that up. But you do that by drilling your units. Let's take care of this rebellion here. But the thing is, it's like, okay, do we want to, if we attack Tlemcen here, it looks like the Portuguese are finally going to end up winning. It's hard to say whether they're going to win the war or not, or what they're going to be able to take, because they're not really going to be able to siege any of this, I don't think. I don't know, it's hard to say. So we have some separatists over here doing their thing. That's totally fine. We have mothballed heavies. It looks like the Tlemcen fleet is about 4 galleys, plus they presumably, and 7 transports. Are they in a war right now? Where are those transports going from? Let's actually get our heavies back online. Can we afford them? Yes, we can. Let's make sure that we're paying for good advisors, because we're trying to get as many points as possible, because we are well behind on military technology. We're well behind on admin technology, especially. Our admin technology is abysmal. Plus, we have this issue of, like, we're starting to build up a tech penalty because we have not embraced the Renaissance. That is something that we're going to have to deal with. I mean, this is good to reduce the diplomatic technology cost, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get any diplomatic technologies anytime soon, to be honest. Okay, let's get these guys on the boat. Send them over here. And luckily, they'll land. If we check this battle right here, we are the defender. They have a better general, though, in terms of fire, but I think in the next phase, nope, they just have a better general. But luckily, we are at least the defender here, which I guess doesn't matter because it's a dry land, so there really wasn't any particular advantage to that. Let's actually try to get our troops. You know what? I don't know, guys. I'm thinking maybe an aggressive war here. I'm thinking maybe an aggressive war against Tlemcen maybe makes sense. Let's get our troops positioned down here in such a way that they'll be able to move over here, and we'll be able to take advantage of the fact that Tlemcen's actually really not allied to anybody particularly powerful at the moment, and Morocco's not going to be able to do anything to us either. So let's get all of our sort of ships and things ready to go here. It looks like their navy is actually connected to the Barbary coast. rather than the Gulf of Almeria. They don't have any ships here. So we'll move these heavies over to here to intercept these as they disengage. And then we'll also you probably use our cogs over here in the Gulf of Almeria to be able to shuffle guys around. Actually, no, we'll use them. That's a good point. Do we want 11,000 to do an amphibious landing, or do we want to try to march them through Morocco? It'll be interesting to see if they get, will they end up getting military access through Morocco and thus giving us military access? We could see what the opinion is between Tlemcen and Morocco. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So they'll definitely get military access through there. We don't have to worry about that. Growth of the administration. It looks like, oh, we got some estate stuff to do, guys. It's been a few years. We got some estate maintenance to do. We can call for a diet. Once we finish, we need to finish the Madrid mission. We got a Madrid mission to do. It's going to give us some extra prestige. I think we talked about doing that a long time ago. We never did, which is kind of a bummer because that's going to cost, increasing base tax in Madrid is going to cost admin power. We desperately need, yeah, we kind of I also want to seize land, but people aren't going to be happy in terms of us seizing land. We're kind of in a tricky situation here. Let's see if we could get the nobilities happy. That would be a good thing right now. Okay, there's the nobilities getting happy. At the cost of the burghers getting upset. Gaining some influence for nobility. That's not a bad button press. We don't need more diplomatic relations, though. Global trade power, okay, that would make the nobility upset. Yeah, this would also make, no. I think we're going to hit the top. We're going to get the nobility to be nice and happy. I think we're going to finish this because we have to finish it or else we get some nasty penalties. So what we could do is we could go here and we can encourage development. This is a state edict that will make it cheaper to develop in this territory. What we're doing right now is we are developing base tax. We're spending administrative power to strengthen our provinces. We could spend diplo to strengthen our production and therefore trade, and we could strengthen with military power. We could strengthen our manpower pool and sort of like just I guess just spend military power to do some advertising in here for the army, or to send some local army officials here to promote or train or get people excited about the military and stuff like that, to increase the people that want to join the military from this province, to increase the military tradition of Madrid specifically. But we're not going to be spending military points in doing that. We're going to be spending admin points to get tax. So we're going to try to get tax. That's going to finish this agenda. Madrid is up to 7 now. As soon as we unpause, that should update. There we go. 10 prestige and some bits there. Let's summon another diet. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Now, we know that when we seize land, which I do want to do, I want to seize land. You guys are going to have to go and beat those guys up. That's fine. We can deal with that. We can deal with that. We know that these guys are going to be slightly upset. So what are we? A little bit of additional construction or development cost actually has gone up. That's fine. This will trend towards 30, right? We know that this is going towards 30, so it's not a critical big deal. We're losing a lot of trade efficiency. If we can actually do something for the burghers and make them happy, that would be good. Giving Ceuta a little bit of a base production bump will give us $100. That's actually not bad. 100 ducats, that's easy to do. We don't care about Diplo as much because we're relatively up to date with Diplo compared to admin, at least. That was painful, upping admin like that. Catholic Defender of the Faith. Defender of the Faith is something that you can do as a Catholic nation, or many nations have this as well. It costs 500 gold to take that. 500 gold is very expensive, and the benefits of this would be just basically, yeah. Oh no, is Defender of the Faith opinion of Castile is at least 100. Complete with the following is fulfilled. Is Catholic. Okay, we are Catholic. Oh, I think what we need to do is we need to improve the relationship we have with Poland. I think if we improve Poland's relationship of us to 100, that's what would give us this. We don't really get any benefits. I'd like to get paid the $100 there. That'd be good. We could get some temples and things like that. Of course, we got to unlock the temples. What can we do here with the Protect Against England agenda? Have an army equal or larger than 36. Well, that's something we could probably do. Land maintenance modifier would save us a significant amount of money. Extra happiness for the nobility. We could save our diplomatic power. These are two interesting choices, right? So what we could do is these are little missions that we can do for either the nobility to make them happy. and save some money on our armies going forward. That would be 10 years of maintenance reduction, army maintenance reduction. And then we'd also get morale of armies, which would help us in combat. What exactly, they're Tech 4 right now, we're Tech 4 as well. We are going to be pretty close to getting Tech 5, which will give us a new type of infantry unit. So our infantry will be quite a bit more powerful. Some other benefits like combat width improvements and stuff. So there's some pretty decent stuff there. The only thing that I'm thinking is that would be 4,000 additional guys. Equal or higher than England? That seems totally reasonable. That seems easy. We have tons of manpower. We have tons of money. I mean, this isn't going to pay us money, but we can just build 4,000 more troops. That gets us up to 36,000. And there you go. So that's going to complete. I'm going to get, we have enough fabricated spy network to get a claim. So I'm going to go here, and a shortcut for that is just to click on this right here to fabricate claim. Alternatively, we could have gone to their diplomatic screen, gone down to the covert actions and hit fabricate claim here. We can see the next one's now going to cost 25. The base is 20, but then already we have one claim, so it's plus 25%. It's going to add 25% basically every time. Actually, we have these guys here kind of being jerks. Let's get these guys on a boat quickly, and try to swing over there. I don't know if they'll get there in time. Nope, doesn't look like they will. No. It's unfortunate that Morocco is indeed like losing badly here now, finally, because Portugal certainly has goofed up on the actual war. Like, this has cost Portugal a lot. I still don't think Portugal is going to get a decisive like victory here, because they haven't taken any of the actual forts that they need to take to be able to demand land. I think they're going to probably end up taking land down here. We'll have to see. I don't know. It's going to be tricky. Portugal is definitely in somewhat of an economic ruin because of this. And I think also, man, Portugal is winning that war, and it is going to be frustrating that they're winning that war. Okay, we need to get these conversions done ASAP. We got that free stability from the event. I didn't even cheer when that happened, but that was kind of a cool thing. Okay, get those guys on the boat. Send them back over here, I guess. I don't know. I'm just kind of making stuff up here. I think we're pretty situated now. We have the reduced... now, we didn't make the burghers happy, which would have been good for in terms of this benefit here. Definitely would have been good. But we have at least sort of reduced the army maintenance a bit. We're definitely losing more money. There's no doubt about it. Than if we had done the other way, and we would have had a little bit more money on hand. That would have been nice. That would have been nice. Yeah, you know what? Let's get these dudes. These guys will march over. These guys here will do an amphibious landing, potentially. We have overwhelming amounts of troops over here. The only thing I'm worried about is if we attack into Tlemcen and we weaken them, Tunis might take advantage of that and sort of swoop in themselves and sort of help a destabilized. We could call in Aragon. Now, Aragon, I'm trying to think who else would we want to use Aragon to help us fight, right? Would we want to use Aragon in the future? And I think for the most part, not necessarily. Not offensively, not aggressively. Not aggressively. We've actually allied Austria too, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I think for the most part, I'm not expecting any war with France or England anytime soon. Aragon would be good against that. I think we're just going to call Aragon in here and just have him help us out. Have him help us out here. And we'll make the war goal for this province here because it's relatively close and we'll be able to land on that. It's not a fort. We'll be able to take it pretty quickly. This is going to call a number. I guess what we'll do is we'll start off by landing these troops via the boat. But I think we'll be able to get military access So I'm going to try to take these 11,000, land them on the war goal. But I think we're going to eventually get military access here, quickly. Through Morocco. Maybe, sort of, kind of, I hope. If we don't, it's okay. If we don't, it's okay. Let's move these guys over to get shuffled over as need be. And once these heavies are online, let's send them over here to blockade this. That's actually a fort over here. That one's actually a fort. This is just a drylands, so hopefully we won't be attacked. Let's get these guys over here. Get ready to get them on the boat and send them over. Now, once this is taken, once we take this foothold, we'll be able to get over there. Okay, now we can march. Now we can march. Aragon's actually marching down and marching through. Good for our Aragon. We're going to probably like try to play a little bit more passively. I think what we're going to make sure is that we have definitive control over... Okay, so what I'm doing now is, now that we've taken this over, we have an actual port. We can use this port for our ships. So we could just, instead of doing amphibious landing, we could just bring these guys and just transport them directly to there very quickly. Let's get them on the boats. I want to make sure we have the coastline to ourselves, because that's the land we're thinking about taking. And then if Aragon wants to siege down some of the inland stuff, the highland stuff, the stuff that's quite honestly going to be a little bit bloodier, harder to take, that'll be good. Like the fort, well, it's not a mountain fort, but it's a highlands fort. So if Aragon wants to sit on that with 18,000 troops, by all means, dude. By all means. Thanks for helping out. Thanks for helping out. We're going to keep sort of moving along here. It's not letting me... See, we moved from there to there at one point, but now it's not even letting me do that anymore. I don't know what changed, really. This game is goofy. This game is goofy. So what I want to do is I want to grab a single guy. I want to grab our leader, because we kind of want our leader to die, to be honest. And I'm going to actually send him over here to help with the siege. Meanwhile, I can actually send back this guy, who's a better general, and we'll keep him alive and around. Because there's a little bit of an increased chance to die when you're working on a siege or when you're fighting a battle and stuff like that. These guys are like completely pinned down here. Whoa, Morocco, or Portugal, dude. How did Portugal take land when they didn't control any of the forts? In fact, the opposite. Like, they didn't control the war goal. They didn't control the forts. I don't understand how they took all that. I actually legitimately don't understand how they just snagged both those provinces, or that, well, they own Ceuta and then they snagged this province. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how the game let them do that. Man, that is so frustrating. That is so frustrating. Oh, our person died. Hooray! We have a queen consort, which is a female. That's kind of interesting. That might help us actually potentially build the... well, I don't know. I don't know exactly when we're going to be eligible for the Iberian wedding or not. But right now we have a queen. We have a young heir. So there's going to be about... How many years are there going to be with the queen? It's only going to be 1 year. There's only going to be a period of 1 year. Man, we really need to focus on this. If 5 years away from focusing on admin strength, admin skill, that's going to be very important. Portugal wants... Man. I'm bummed. I'm bummed. We did not want Portugal to get all of that. We did not want Portugal to get all of that land. I think we're going to be pretty quick and swift with this, to be honest, guys. I think if we can just get our provinces, we're just going to get our provinces, and that'll be that. Let's do... How much is it going to take to grab these? And who's going to care, right? We're looking at the aggressive expansion value. Morocco's going to care. Tunis is going to care. Toulouse and Morocco don't matter because we're going to have truces with them. We're going to have truces with all these guys. Nobody... That's not really that big of a deal. I think we're going to try to get this and just get out. Just like really quick, just boom, boom, boom. Really, really quick. So let's try to siege down Tlemcen. It looks like they're scared to engage us, right? Between the Moroccans between the Argonian, Aragon's troops. Like, between Aragon's troops and ours, they're actually kind of just scared to engage. Making money all of a sudden, it seems. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to do the full carpet siege on Tlemcen. to really get them to want to leave the war, right? We're trying to scare them out of the war. And we are getting a ticking war score because we control the war goal. The war goal is this province, but we have a justification to take all 3 of these. Now we could take, here's the thing, guys, we could take land that we aren't justified to take. We could take all this. It'd be an insane amount of aggressive expansion. Not so much that it would be a problem, though. I'm actually tempted to take Tlemcen, and the reason for that is because Tlemcen is actually a fort. And it would be nice to just have control of that so that we don't have to re-siege that time and time and time again. But it would cost us Diplo, right? It would be more expensive to do that. It'd be kind of an inefficient way of doing that. Otherwise, we could just take a shorter truce here, have them pay us some money, take some of their money from their coffers here. I mean, that's a quick war right there, guys. Did you blink? Because the war is over. We're taking the coastline, which is a good strategic position. Gets us another good foothold. Unfortunately, we won't be able to take that from Morocco. That would have been so good. Portugal, why do you do this, Portugal? Why do you do this? But we'll be able to take all of Tlemcen's coast. We're not gonna ruin their. We're not gonna attack their army. We're not gonna make them weakened. So we haven't actually done any fighting yet. That's good because I want them to stay strong. I want them to defend themselves against Tunis. I don't want Tunis to take advantage of this. So we're gonna actually just keep them strong and take the coastline, which is a good strategic position. Good, also richer, some of the richer land that's owned by Tlemcen as well. Keep the truce shorter, right? If we take a 100% war deal, it increases the time of the truce. This will be about a 10-year truce. So we're just going to do that. We're out. We are out. I'm going to use, so what happens is after war, if you're in enemy territory, you are black flagged. I'm going to use the black flag ability. I'm using shift to control, to micro control the exact pathing. So holding shift and clicking. And because I do not, well, it doesn't really matter too much, but I'm basically just trying to get these guys back into our homeland so that we don't have to send ships to do that. We'll leave 12,000 here to deal with that. We do have because we've taken land, right? We have overextension. We need to deal with that. But we saw that the only coalition that could happen would be like Morocco, Tlemcen, these guys in Tunis. Unfortunately, these guys have truces with us for them, right? Unfortunately for them, they can't form a coalition against us because there's a truce there. So the only person that actually wants to join the coalition that's eligible is Tunis. You cannot have a coalition of one, right? You cannot have a coalition of one. So that war is over. We have some additional holdings now in North Africa, and we now have a border with Tunis. We could start building a spy network on Tunis. We could look to rival Tunis. This is good. This is good. This is good. We have a lazy diplomat. We'll have to figure out what to do with them. Probably butter up the Pope or something like that, maybe. Thanks everybody for watching this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure to post a comment if you guys have any questions or thoughts. I read all that stuff and respond to most of it. Thanks everybody. I will see you guys in the next episode.